Hi, Jason Goodall, GQue Barbecue. What's shaking? Are you aching for bacon? Is there such a thing as too much bacon? Today we're gonna wrap bacon around bacon. That's what we're making. Any other words rhyme with bacon? If you wanna see how to do that, it's coming up right now. I'm gonna get my fire started today with some of this lump charcoal. I'm gonna fill it up about 80% full. Throw my fire starter in, light it. You notice I put my hand off to the side. If I put it right over the fire starter, it's gonna get burnt. We've got a few hot coals. I'm gonna add some hickory wood. That hickory wood's gonna give us that irresistible flavor that we all love about barbecue. Once those coals are nice and hot, I'm gonna put the lid on, keep the valves wide open, and I'll crank these valves down to about a 1/4 inch open once the gateway drum reaches a temperature of 250 degrees. When cooking a pork belly burn-in, I think it's important to try to keep that shape the best you can. A good low and slow temperature is gonna keep that shape right where you want it. First thing you notice about pork belly is how much fat there is. These thin little striations of fat are going to melt during the cooking process and contribute significant amounts of flavor to the pork. It comes from the belly of the pig and is made from layers of fat and meat. Pork belly is the same cut of meat that bacon's made from. Pork belly is just uncured, non-smoked, unsliced bacon. Doesn't that look like a strip of bacon? This is a big belly. This one runs about 5 pounds, and you can find them varying in size depending on how they're cut. Pork belly is unique because it's really the only protein on a pig that can be cut into these bites and smoked. I'm going to cut the belly into 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch cubes. I also find a serrated knife is the easiest way to cut the belly. These layers of fat that I was talking about earlier in the pork belly allow it to stay nice and moist. We're going to get these pork belly cubes seasoned up with some GQue rub. The combination of the rub and that hickory smoke is going to light up your taste buds. So after you get those seasoned up, if you see any parts that miss the season, go ahead and just touch them up. Then we're going to place them on this rack. The reason I use the rack is for transport. It makes it a lot easier to transport the pork bellies from your workstation to the smoker. That smoke is rolling. We're going to let those pork bellies sit in that hickory smoke so they get nice and tasty for about 2.5 to 3 hours. That GQue Barbecue the rub is going to perform some magic and develop a nice flavorful bark. So just pulled these burnt ends off. They're at 180 degrees. You can see this bark is set up nice. It ain't going anywhere. It's caked onto the pork belly burnt in. The next step is to tenderize these pork belly burnt ends. I'm going to do so by laying down a piece of foil, adding the pork belly burnt ends, applying some of my favorite barbecue sauce, the Hottish. If you haven't tried it, what are you waiting for? I'll put a link down below in the description. And I'm going to add some beer because what doesn't taste better braised in beer? That's going to create a braising liquid that these pork belly burnt ends are going to sit in and tenderize. You mean to tell me if you were a pork belly burnt in, you wouldn't want to hang out in that magical pool of savory barbecue sauce and beer? It's also important to use the top end of the foil and wrap it nice and tight. The tighter we can keep this wrapped, the more tender they're going to get. Yep. We're going to let these cook anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes until they get super tender. If you're looking for a target temperature, it's going to be somewhere around 205 degrees. To make our glaze, I'm going to use GQue Barbecue Sauce the Hottish as my base. I'm going to go 4 parts GQue Barbecue Sauce the Hottish to 1 part apricot preserves. If you like a sweeter glaze, use a 2-to-1 ratio. You know I love to cook with alcohol. One of my go-to ingredients is bourbon, so let's give it a splash of bourbon to give it that zing and that signature flavor. I want that barbecue sauce to cook on the smoker for at least 30 minutes to warm up and homogenize all those flavors. Little mid-video weather interruption. It rained earlier during the first stage of the pork belly burning cook, and now it's hailing. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out. Thanks for sticking with me. Good, 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 good. Sun's coming out. Good. Let's go. Okay, the bacon, we're just going for a partial cook. So these were on here for about 10 minutes. We don't want to cook them all the way because we want them to stay nice and pliable so we can wrap them around the pork belly burnt ends. Okay, there's 2 ways you can approach wrapping the pork belly burnt end. I'm a big fan of just 1 wrap. So you're going to expose about half the burnt end. But if you want to do the entire burnt end wrapped in bacon, here's how you do it. I can't stop eating these. Oh yeah, look at that. There it is. Bacon, wrapped bacon. Now, I tried to maximize the amount of bacon I had, and I should have gone with longer strips. So if you're making this at home, go 2/3 or 3/4 a piece of bacon, or just wrap a whole piece of bacon around there. This is the part where I do the taste test. However, I've been popping these pork belly burnt-ins throughout the entire cook. I've had 7 or 8 of them so far, and I already know what it tastes like. But now for my favorite part, the taste test. These bacon-wrapped pork belly burnt-ins with that apricot and bourbon glaze is the best thing I've made on my channel, bar none. This is last meal worthy food right here. My shoulders, my neck, it's tingling. My body is numb right now. I've popped 7 or 8 of these guys throughout the entire cook. I wish you were here to share these with me right now. If this looked good, if it's something you want to try, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't watched me make brisket burnt-ins, I make them in half the amount of time. Check that out by clicking the link down below. Jason Canal, GQue Barbecue, and I'll see you on the next one.